Hi everybody, my name is Mark Mabaquiao.
I'm Maricel Johns.
And this is episode 5 of Seen It in Sin City.
I need your vote.
Yeah, 10-year-old?
Get all the way very front, the very front.
There you go. All right, you got it?
Hey, watch out.
Oh my God.
I got you. Move your tongue. Hey.
Feel safe. I feel really safe and secure.
This is so funny.
All right, so today's taping is pretty cool. As you can tell, we are not in our regular recording studio,
Yes.
right? Basically in our living room. Maricel, what a beautiful day to do this.
It is glorious day. It's Memorial Day.
We are still in Henderson, but we are at a very special person's home to do the taping, Mr. Christian Bishop. And we're outside right now. We're in front. Thank God he hasn't called the cops yet. So we should probably
let's go
head inside,
inside.
right? And go
Yes.
talk to him. All right, we'll see you inside. Hey, everybody. All right. So we are now away from the Las Vegas Henderson heat.
It's not that hot.
Well, you know, when you're under the sun, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
Wait till noon. We probably hit 100 today.
Well, we are now inside this very beautiful home, which you probably cannot tell because it looks like we're more in
A boardroom.
more like a boardroom. And it's actually probably very appropriate because we're here to talk business, politics for sure, and probably a little bit personal, right? If that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys for being here. It's definitely my life. This campaign has taken over, as you can see, even my home to be here. But glad you guys are here. Thank you, and glad to be here with you guys.
So here's the thing, I probably should introduce this guy here in the middle. So the sign outside, or the sign from the intro, you saw big words, Christian Bishop. So Christian Bishop, welcome to Seen It in Sin City podcast.
Yes.
Seen It in Sin City, by the way, is sponsored by the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Nevada. Gotta put that in there.
Yes.
And
I'll enjoy.
is it okay? I'm going to run down some of your endorsements.
Yeah, no
Gotcha.
problem. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah.
And I should probably mention, if you don't know already, Christian is running for the Nevada State Senate in Henderson. And he's got endorsements from the Nevada State Veterans Association, the Armed Forces Chamber, Nevada State Education Association, Smart Local 88, and the Culinary Workers Union Local 226. Am I missing any?
Yeah, you got it. No, that's a great job. We actually secured a few more as well. The Las Vegas Sun endorsed us, as well as Las Vegas Weekly did. Nevada Impact, which is an inclusive organization fighting for equal rights for a lot of people in our community. And more endorsements are rolling in, right? So it's getting close. We're almost 2 weeks away from this primary election. So yeah, it's heating up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's June 11th, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Polls open now, though. So May 25th, polls open. So the team is all around right now, communicating with voters.
All right. Well, before we kind of get into our, more serious questions, is it all right if we kind of ask you a little bit about your personal life? I know you're here living with Natalie, your wife, and you've got 3 kids, right?
Yeah, three kids, 3 dinos, we call them.
3
Oh,
dinos.
they're adorable. They were just here this morning, running around and having fun. It looks like they just got ready to celebrate the holiday.
They totally are. One bit mark, actually, on the leg. And then kidding. But no, we have 2 boys and a baby girl. So she's 9 months old, and they're all headed out to go spend the day at the lake.
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you for spending your day, or part of your day with us, because I'm sure you'd rather be with your family.
Oh yeah, speaking of family, look who decided to make a guest appearance today.
What is
It's
this?
Lilith. Coming in live, ladies and gentlemen. This is my.
What's her name?
This is Lola.
Lola?
This is our campaign ambassador. As you can see, she's been groomed recently. She didn't like it very much, but this is our picture. Okay, leave her.
Lola, that's, in Filipino language, that's like
Grandma.
Lola.
Yes.
So aside from your family, would you mind telling us a little bit about your background, where you came from, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely, right? So I'm a husband, I'm a father and a son, right? My mom lives with us here, and she's a single mom, 4 kids that work really hard to help raise me and my 3 other siblings. There's 4 of us. I was born originally in LA, spent half my childhood there, and then ultimately went to Florida, where I went to boarding school. And at some point I was raised by my grandma there, my aunts and uncles, everybody contributed. Very much so raised by a village, right? And came back to LA when I was 18. I was on my own, went to college, spent the first 8 years in corporate America, working for some different tech media companies. And then I jumped on some television shows for a couple years, got my heart broken in front of all my friends and family. And then I transitioned, and I was going from there back to tech, right? Video games, esports, jumped in creating some businesses in that space, sold my media company in 2019 to the Ohio Innovation Fund, started buying real estate around the country, the cash flow. I was like, okay, it's time to start building my family. So let me start building our family and our children. I was like, I got to get better. I got to improve, right? Look at myself in the mirror, and I want my kids to be proud. And it changes your perspective, right? As a man, you become a father from that sense of responsibility, right? And went back, got my master's at UNLV. I'm a rebel, and law school as well, right? And finishing that up this year, and then I'll be joining the Air Force as a JAG in the reserves. We'll serve for all of you in the Senate.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
It's all about service.
Yes,
Wow.
right.
It is.
It's about that time. So
Awesome.
Wow. So I have a question to go a little bit back to your entrepreneurial side. For what are some of the businesses that you have started up?
yeah, so back from the beginning, right? It started, at least in the tech video game space, it was a studio in an esports arena in Los Angeles. We had a 150,000 square foot facility with over 20 sound stages, 2 broadcast trucks. So we produced TV shows, movies, films, a lot of different content,
Oh, wow.
a lot of gaming content, of course, and I was proud of that business that we built as well.
Uh-huh. And I have a question for that. So with your entrepreneurial spirit, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs just starting up?
Yeah, so first off, it's hard, right? So entrepreneurship is very difficult, so brace yourself. I always say if you can make it to the 2-year marker, that's a really special, magical moment. For a lot of businesses and organizations and groups that are around, sometimes you just need to make it to 2 years and you start getting that brand significance. People understand that you're there to stay, right? Some of the pieces are, you're rough around the edges are smoothed out a little bit. So keep working hard every day of just taking steps forward and building. Build, make progress in what you're working on to do. It's okay, you're not gonna be perfect day one. A lot of people, right? Even when you think content, right? You look back at this and we'll say, man, we did a lot, much differently in a year or 2 years, right? Same with the business. You're gonna get a little bit better. That's okay. Pick your business partners carefully, right? Number one issue, the thing that destroys businesses is founder dispute, right? So having an issue with your business partners, have good documentation with your paperwork, your shareholder agreements, your operating agreement with your businesses, and manage cash flow. Cash flow is king.
Nice. Yeah. That's good to know. That's actually that was a chock full of advice right there, so that's great for our listeners. And I know that you talk about your family a lot and wanting to run for this position, but what made you exactly want to run for the Nevada State Senate?
Yeah, I've always been involved in politics, supporting candidates for many years. My dad ran for controller in LA. He was small business commissioner for many years, and I've been on the e-boards of different groups. When I saw the opportunity to help secure a supermajority in the Senate here in this particular district in the state, and flip this seat, it seemed like an incredible opportunity for me. Going through law school, you learn a lot about the legislative process and how impactful that is in all of our lives, right? How that impacts education, healthcare, critical industries, even criminal statutes, right? The laws that govern Nevada as us as citizens are held accountable to. It's how we run our families, our businesses, how funds are spent. It's a critical piece, right, of the government and what's important. And as I've learned more about the law and its impact, it really has pushed me to want to get involved and step up and do the work.
Okay. And since you're from LA, I'm from LA too. What made you decide on coming here to Henderson in Las Vegas?
Yeah, so years ago, maybe quite a bit, I was recruited after the studio that I built and ended up selling to come be the commissioner of an esports league, and we built a studio at the Aria. So right when you drive up on the left, you'll see that studio is gold-plated cards up in front. That's where we would do our Poker Go content, Poker After Dark, as well as video game esports content. So we built that studio. We would put up $100,000 every month. We flew in the best gamers from around the world who competed at our studio. And we created a program with ESPN, MGM, and was proud to be able to do that work. And just we continued to find a good place to live, and we fell in love with Henderson. All three of our kids were born out here. They put them in little Golden Knights bibs when they were babies. And, we was like, this is home. And no state income tax is nice.
Right, I agree with that.
So, talking about moving from LA to Henderson, right? So let's say, somebody decided, or somebody was moving from out of state, moving here, okay, who's fairly brand new. And I'm sort of speaking for myself. I just moved here about 3 years ago from Chicago. And basically, if I'm fairly new here, right, who's sort of unaware of like the concerns and issues that are happening here in Henderson, what would you say are the major issues, major concerns that that I would be unaware of because I'm brand new, but I probably should start becoming educated about?
Well, first off, welcome. I'm glad you're here from Chicago. I mean, a lot of people moving from Chicago
They
coming
do.
here.
I meet a lot of clients from Chicago.
Absolutely, and generally politically involved too. So it's really fascinating. But first off, Henderson's a top 100 city in the country to be in, right? So it's an incredible place to live. I think it's an example of what a city really could become and be with some hard work and a great community of folks. It should be celebrated throughout Nevada. For me, education is at the top of the list, and I think it's for most folks, right, throughout Nevada. And I always say, if we could be number one in gaming, mining, hospitality, right?
Exactly.
And now sports, why not be number one in education and in healthcare, right, for people?
Yes.
And it's something that I think we can do. It's something I'm going to play a part in aspiring to get us there. And look, we're going to continue to diversify our economy as well, right, and attract new industries and businesses here that could be attributable and add value to residents here and help keep our talent here so that you can have a diverse economy and high-paid, skilled jobs.
So Christian, you just mentioned education and you talked about relocating here. Mm-hmm. I also just relocated here. Even though I'm from LA, my husband also serves in the Air Force. Mm-hmm. And we just moved from Honolulu, Hawaii last summer. And when we have 4 school-age children, actually 3 school-age children. One is still a toddler at home, but she also attends daycare. But when I was looking at schools out here, I came across this article about a list of the 50th metro cities and the rankings. And sadly, at number 50 was Honolulu, and just above it is Las Vegas. And so you mentioned education, and I was wondering, what are your thoughts and what are you proposing to make it better?
Yeah, look, and welcome, right? Welcome here as well. And thanks to your husband for his service. Baby number 5, you ready for the...
No. We actually do have technically 5 children. We became legal guardians to my cousin when he was 16.
That's amazing.
So, but he's actually a 4th year in college right now back in Fullerton. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Look, the articles like that are really rough, right? And it's also more than an article, it's a reality, I think, for our families here. Again, one of the reasons why I'm running, right? I got 3 kids, and we think through that, right? And you think through an opportunity of being like, wow, like, is private school the answer, right? It shouldn't be like that. Everybody should have an opportunity to secure an education and live up to their potential and unlock that, whatever that may be. A part of the issue is funding, right? So as a state, we just allocated an additional $2 billion, right, to education, and it took months, nearly 9, right, for that to flow through the Clark County School District, and there was a massive negotiation. But I don't think it was done in good faith, and it should have happened much quicker because the legislators allocated the funds and capital, right, to be able to address that. Money does play a big factor, but administration, right, matters too, and accountability matters as well, right. But we have to support our educators so that people have the resources, the tools they need, so that they can be best in the classroom. If you can't, be in a safe place with your own life, how can you be best for our children, right? If you have to be worried about your home and your bills, and whether or not you're going to have an opportunity or a job, or educator teachers may have to come from the Philippines, right, that are worried about their visas getting renewed, right? How can you, and you have to think about your life, right? And if you go back and you can't come back here, how can you have a clear mind to be at best for us? So we have to take steps to make sure that our teachers are in a good place, that the resources they need financially, the administrators have what they need, and that we continue to be an inclusive community that I think welcomes all folks, right? And people, like, we're all a representation of what Nevada is like today, right? Like, we literally are Nevada. We're one of the most diverse places in the country by some metrics, number one, right? And it's fascinating. And like I said at the beginning, we can be number one, right? In education, we can get there. And we raised our general fund from $2 billion to $10 billion. Zach Koenig did that, right? Did a great job, our treasurer and the team. We have the resources, and there's some other creative things that we can do to drive revenue as well, so that you can fund things like education.
Wow. So just kind of piggyback on what you guys have mentioned so far. So like I mentioned before, we moved here from Chicago 3 years ago. I'm a Medicare broker. And so when I first started meeting, folks here, one of the things that, people are usually concerned about when they're looking for a plan is my doctor going to be covered, right? And so I'm not as familiar with, well, at least back then, I wasn't as familiar with the health system here. And so one of the things that I would kind of start asking people is, so, what are some of your top hospitals here? Can you recommend any doctors? Which is the best hospital? And I kid you not, I would get like this 10-minute, like very long-winded answer. And it was very strange to me, because back in Chicago, if you ask somebody, what are some of the best hospitals, right off the bat, Northwestern, University of Chicago, Loyola, all those are teaching hospitals. So here, I found it really strange that no one can give me a straight answer as to like which are the best hospitals or hospital systems. And then I started to kind of find out that the healthcare here isn't as great as some other parts of the country. So is that similar to like with education, with the teachers, like the same issues with the teachers? Is it similar with the healthcare here? Is that why,
Yeah, so I think it needs dire attention in a very similar way, right? It needs to be addressed different because they're different industries, but there's real concerns there, right? You had situations through the pandemic where nurses didn't necessarily have the appropriate resources and safety masks that they needed to be safe, but not even then, people had to strike, right? Nurses had to strike because hospitals and stuff were concerned about supplies of those masks, right? Mm-hmm. And you had the support staff in the hospitals that didn't necessarily get access to the masks. Nurses are like, well, we're around them, right? We're coming over here, and we work with them too. So not just in the room, and they would tell them don't go in the rooms when people would be sick because they want to keep them safe. They had to strike, right? Some of that stuff goes down to things that I can address in the Senate that you can actually affect, right? But then you look at rising costs, right? You have special interest in corporations coming in, making things more regulated, pharmaceutical companies, and see what they've done to a lot of us, right, over the years, and how things continue to just get more expensive and more costly for folks, which drive costs up. We need more veteran care, right, for our veterans in our communities. A children's hospital would be really nice, right? I hear stories, and friends of mine, neighbors of mine, people in my community that have to leave the state to get child care for their children because they have dire conditions. Imagine that. Imagine having to get on a plane, take your child somewhere, leave them there, and come back here to go to work. Right, most people don't have the opportunity to just stop working, right, for if you're dealing with something serious. And you see that throughout people's lives, and whether or not senior care, and that stuff is heartbreaking, right? And it shouldn't be that way. Again, if we're going to do great in all these other things like gaming, sports, hospitality, even mining, we got to take care of people, healthcare and education.
Yeah, especially since a lot of folks come here to retire, look for homes. There's a lot of people moving out here, so.
Yeah, on both ends, right? Yeah. So you have us, look at us, young professionals with our families. Yeah. She's about to have 2-3 more children.
Your mom actually told me you had 9 kids this morning.
She got you. And then you played it all calm because you didn't want to respond. I heard about it. And secretly she was like judging me.
No, I was not. I was like, no, that's very admirable to hear somebody have a large family this day and age.
You're like, that's going to be you. That's going to be you in a couple of years.
No, I We're good.
You see it on this end, right? Us, we represent our community, but then you're right. A lot of people are moving here, right? And you need to have services and care to be able to take care of folks as well, and also the traditional aging stages where they need actual more care, right? There's the hospice and all this. You want more camera time? Lola's over here wants more camera time. Okay, we're gonna keep you on the lap. Whatever, she may hang out for a little bit.
Switching gears a little bit, so the Filipino community, typically, Filipinos are known for focusing more on becoming, going to the medical field, whether it's to be nurses, doctors, physical therapists, etc. But I'm starting to get a sense, especially because I think we're part of the chamber, that there's sort of a push to have Filipinos think more about entrepreneurship, opening their own business. What are your thoughts on, Henderson, Las Vegas, about the business community here? Do you think it's good for businesses, business owners to come here? Is it good to start a business here? If not, what are some things that you think can happen that you can do to help entrepreneurs?
Yeah, look, I've been really blown away and embraced by the Filipino community, and see such incredible folks, right, in a variety of different industries that have been really kind and supportive of me and my family and everything that we're trying to do, and that I get to work with every day. So I love to see it, right? I love to see the creative chamber doing the work that it's doing. I love to see all the entrepreneurs, small business owners. I love to see all the teachers, right, healthcare professionals, and even engineers, right, that are in this community. Vegas is neat because it's like being a big fish in a small pond, right? And we can actually get to know everybody, get to know one another. Like I see this running for state senate here in Henderson. I can actually meet all my constituents one by one, right? In a place like this, you can actually meet them. And every day I'm out there doing that. I door knock and I'm meeting members of my community. Lola's barking at members of my community. And, you can actually do that and have fun in doing that. And as a business, and as this place continues to grow and more people come to Vegas, that's an opportunity to be able to support that community as well, because you need all that infrastructure, right? That's why we need more hospitals, you need more teachers, you need more dry cleaners, you need more plumbers, you need more HVAC techs. That's opportunity. The growth in Vegas and in Nevada represents opportunity.
So politics can get nasty, right? What do you say to people or your detractors when they say stuff like, he's a great guy, very nice person, but he may not be the right candidate for Henderson right now? What do you say to those kinds of people?
That's okay, right? I think to me that's democracy at its finest. What you need to see is candidates have to do their job to communicate with voters, right, and tell them a little bit about themselves and what they've accomplished. Just because you're in a political party, you shouldn't just be guaranteed a vote from a constituent that happens to be registered to that party. Every single person running for office should earn your vote, my vote, your vote. You should do the work. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what democracy is. And it should be inspiring people to participate in our elections. Why are people discouraged today to vote? Why do people feel like their votes don't matter? Why do I feel like people feel like there's participation and change, right? When you've been sold a dream and politicians are going to do these things for you. Everybody needs to earn it. And all I can ever ask for is someone's opportunity to build a relationship with them, see that I'm willing to do the work, right? And I've done the work throughout my life and will continue to drive to do that work, which is indicative of what I'll do in the legislature, right? You can tell from, the way that I run my life and how seriously I take things. And that's all I can ask for. And at the end of the day, if someone makes their choice, they're exercising their right and they're participating in our democracy. And I can respect and live with that.
Awesome.
How can people support you in your campaign?
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in here. Be sure to, if this is on YouTube, like and subscribe, right, to the channel. Tag a friend in this content and share this video, guys, as well. And please share the content and support these two amazing friends of mine as well here in the chamber. Is great for me, right? And support our community and anybody that steps up to do the work. That's willing to put themselves out there, I think is important and valuable. For me, like your kindness, right, your support in any way that you can provide it is helpful, right? We've got volunteers that are out in the campaign volunteering. We've got people in the polling stations now, right, volunteering for the campaign. And you tell me you love me as well.
I think he's a supporter. She's a supporter.
Yeah, she's a supporter. And that means a lot, right? Like the positivity, right? Even the energy means a lot. It's such a divisive time in our lives and the way politics can be. So even the kindness means a lot for me, right? It's not always about donation dollars. Some people don't have the time to door knock, canvas, cold call, all of that. But sometimes it is a positive message. Sometimes it's spreading the word, right? And telling someone you know that lives in Henderson nice things, right? All of that is great.
So where should people check you out to learn more? ChristianBishop.com?
Yeah, you can check out our website. We got issues section, so you can see expanded pieces on some of our platform. You'll see our endorsements, social media links at the bottom. We're posting every day. My social media strategy is documenting the work that we do, right? Every single day we do the work. We take this very seriously. And that's our content. And you'll be able to follow along on the journey. Because I always say we're building a coalition here with this campaign. It's not just about winning it, but it's also about effectively legislating. Because when we get up there in the Capitol, we're going to bring the community, right? And we're going to talk about things, right? You'll talk about your industry and community, and you'll talk about things that you care about as well. So you're not just saying no to me, right? You're saying no to the community that I bring with me that got me in office.
Awesome. And we'll put your link in the what's it called?
In the description.
In the description, in the show notes, right? I was going to say in the comment box. And that's Christian, just like it sounds, Bishop, BISHOP.com. There's actually a lot of really, really great information on there. You're doing pretty well because you're not sweating. I'm looking at you. You're not sweating. Got to come up with harder questions next time.
Questions.
Gotcha questions.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No.
But
I heard you sing karaoke.
why? No, that was anyway, this is about you. So what we actually want to do now is we want to play a little game with you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So what is this game called again? Fast Talk? Have you ever heard of Fast Talk before?
No, what is it?
Okay. So Maricel, you want to explain how Fast Talk?
So Fast Talk, we're basically, it's like this or that. So we're going to ask you quick questions, and you're going to have to just give us your first answer that you think
Yeah,
of.
don't think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get in some trouble. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So we'll start off easy. What's your favorite pizza topping?
I like ham and pineapple. Come on, you're from the
Man,
island.
that was quick.
I know.
Come on, you're from the island. And those of you that don't like pineapple, all right, you're on the wrong side of this debate.
No, I love Hawaiian.
Come on, of
pizza.
course you do. I knew where you would stand.
All
What
right.
about you? Oh no, he's a Chicago guy.
I
What
know,
about
it's
you?
a deep dish.
No, it's just cheese.
I knew it. I knew you'd be compromised. You know.
I was a class clown in high school, so it's got to be cheese. So we're going to actually go back and forth. I should have told you that. So the next one is, if your food is bad at a restaurant, would you say something?
I'm not picky, right? When it comes to food necessarily, like I'm okay. I can't tell you the last time I had bad food. If I have bad service, I'll say something. I'm not good about that, right? So if you're providing service, right, and you're having a bad day, I'll ask them, like, hey, are you having a bad day?
Yeah.
You know, that's probably my approach. Like, you're having a bad day, like, I get it. If it's abundantly bad, I may ask for a different server.
Yeah. Wow. That's right.
Name 5 things in your fridge right now.
Oh my goodness. Fruit, a lot of fruit. So different, like blueberries, raspberries. My kids will sit there and eat it every morning.
that's cool.
Gotta have some milk. And I consider myself a meat eater, so definitely got some steak and enjoy some bacon.
Next one is, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, one of the best compliments that I've received is about my work ethic, right? Being a hard worker who really works hard every single day to represent his community and the people that I care about. And I want to really make people proud, right? To know that I really apply myself and put my best foot forward every single day. A lot of people get behind me and support me, right? So that's the thing about these campaigns that's jarring, is that a loss isn't just for me, right?
Yeah.
It's for everybody in my community that's believed in me, has contributed, and as is the win, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about me, right?
No.
And if you could change your name, what would you change it to?
I'm not changing my name. Try to get me in trouble? My mom gave me that name. That's a trap, guys. No, that's not my job.
Good answer.
That's
That's a
my
good
mom and
sign.
dad.
That's a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Yeah, you could be like the, what are those, like, the people with the superpowers? DC Superman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Superhero.
Superhero. That's a cool name.
Yeah, I'd take that. Or a preacher, right? My family's very religious, right? It's like my name's Christian Joseph Bishop.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very
We're a very, very Christian religious family.
Yeah. Surprised you're not Reverend Bishop.
Sorry to let you down. Just like my head.
Here's the last one.
Don't
Corin.
remind his mom.
He was a letdown. He's a politician now. Sheesh.
Here's the last one. How do you think the world would be if bananas were illegal?
Oh man,
Bananas.
we'd have a potassium shortage, right? So that'd be a little unfortunate, sad. I don't really eat a ton of bananas. Are you a banana guy?
No. No, actually, I don't eat bananas.
Oh, who eats banana? I guess.
I mean, if I'm, when you're
what?
gotta use the bathroom a lot.
Oh my
bananas are
goodness.
really good.
That's what you do?
It's a good solution to,
Really?
yeah, you know what I mean.
Hold on, come here, over here. We need to confirm something. Ma'am, I need a question. Hold on, come here, ma'am.
You know when your stomach, you're feeling ill?
Come.
I'm not part of this. What? I'm not part of this.
This is lovely boy.
What?
Can you confirm or deny? Do you keep bananas on deck?
Yeah, I would give it to him and
Bananas
let him
really.
eat.
And you know what happens? And then what happens to the bathroom?
keep going to the
Stomach
bathroom.
flu,
That's the
food
solution.
poisoning.
I would
Well,
give
food
it to
poisoning's throwing
him.
up.
Even my
yes.
son, I would give it to them.
Fun fact, guys.
Yes, in the Philippines we do that.
Guest appearance. Yeah.
So we would be hurt pretty hard from
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
morning in your household.
you would be rather backed up.
Man, this can get kind of gross. Hey, before we kind of close up here, any last things to mention? Anything?
Thank you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the work you're doing making this content. Hopefully it's valuable to the audience and always glad to be helpful. Feel free to reach out anytime to my team. Tita Margie, my campaign manager, my campaign mom has been incredible, supportive. She's going to be working on legislation with me and she'll be up in the Capitol as well.
Awesome.
So we'll be working together. She'll be there in the office running things and yeah, this is a team sport very much so and a coalition. So thank you guys and thank you and I'll always be here.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us today. And thank you guys for watching us. We would love your support if you could like, subscribe, and follow all of our social media accounts. And we're also on Spotify and YouTube. So, and if you have any recommendations on how we can improve with our content, ideas of people to interview, we would love that. So please comment below. And thanks for joining us today. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Christian. Thank you so much.
Enjoy a banana.
All right. We're gonna have bananas.
I'm not going to have a banana.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.